Now that we've wrapped up Thanksgiving, I am in full-on gifting mode over here, and I love to give handmade gifts, especially at the holidays. But if you're not careful, they can rack up and be super expensive, or they can suck up a ton of your time. So today, we are not doing that. We're going the quick and easy route, but I promise you, they are beautiful, they're thoughtful, and they're gonna be loved by anybody you decide to gift them to. You're watching Whiskey and Whit. My name is Whitney, and a huge welcome back to my Whiskey Craft Buddies. I am so thankful to have you guys here each week to DIY with me. If you're new or not already a craft buddy, no worries. It's really easy to change that. Just hit subscribe so you can DIY along with us. Now, I've got a ton to cover today, so let's get into the first gift idea.
I'm sure you've seen these online, these super popular fanny packs and bags, all customized with fun patches that fit either Disney or the person's personality. Well, these can get really pricey, so here's how you can make a lookalike version for much cheaper. I grabbed patches from a variety of different places, from Etsy to Hobby Lobby. You can find them a lot of different places. And instead of ironing it on this Stony Clover Lane lookalike bag that I got from Amazon, I use super glue. You can also use E6000, but I found this grips a lot better and your edges don't pop up as easily. It's as simple as gluing it on, letting it sit overnight, and then your bag is good to go. I decided to go with Lightning McQueen because that's Finn's favorite, and I thought he would get a kick out of it, but there are a ton of other options you can do, whether you've got a Disney trip coming up or you just want this for every day. Hobby Lobby also has a ton of different bags, patches, Amazon has them, and I made this variation of bags for my Hawaii trip back in the spring, and it's fun to add just a little bit of personality to your travel bags. And if the person you're gifting this to would like a backpack, they also have those options, and I will link everything down below. We're officially in Christmas party season, and I don't like to show up anywhere empty-handed, so here is one of my favorite ways to make a hostess gift. I like to go to Aldi, but you can go anywhere. I just really think that their drink section has beautiful packaging. And then in the aisle of shame with all their fun stuff, I actually found these gold wine glasses. They had stemless, but I thought these were so fun because they look like the ones from the reality show Love is Blind. I took a basket I already had and added a dish towel. It's going to add some color for not a lot of cost. And then I'm going to add this really fun bottle that you would never guess came from Aldi. My cups, fluff it up. You can add some cellophane or just go like this with a treat inside. And this is a quick and easy way to thank somebody for opening their home and celebrating the holidays with you. And it looks like you took a lot of time and money when you really didn't. Every time I find myself looking at gift lists, I always see these boutique style candles, but they're like 30, 40 bucks a pop for a candle. So instead, we're going to make our own. I grabbed this $11 one and this $13 one from Walmart, but you can get them anywhere. I just really like the Better Homes and Gardens Walmart candles. And then I went onto Canva. I literally typed in candle label and sized it to what I needed to replace the Walmart labels. I printed it on sticker paper, cut it down with my slice cutter, and then it was as easy as taking off the old label, which came off so easy. Thank you, Walmart, for using a decent sticker instead of leaving a bunch of residue. And then you just replace it with the one that you made. This makes it look so much more high-end, and I also like this one because I added a fun message to it. It could be for a friend, for a coworker. This one is just if you're having a rough day, light it and remember that you're loved. I love the message there. And then on the one side of the noble fir and pine, I just said scents that will make you feel like you are at a Christmas tree farm in December. I love these because they are 1000% customizable and they're way cheaper than those boutique ones, and you get a very specific personalized gift. This is one of my favorite photo gifts to give. You could honestly give them to anyone, but I think these are great for especially work gift exchanges, especially if you're friends with the people on social media. What I would do when I used to work in corporate is if I knew the person well enough and was friends with them on Instagram or Facebook, I would go and grab some pictures from the year of their family or them and their boyfriend, them and their dog, whatever. Cut out 4 of them in the 4x6 size and then trim them down to make it look like a Polaroid on these cheap little tiles you can get at Home Depot for literally a couple bucks. Put your Mod Podge down, stick down your picture, and then seal over the top with another coat of Mod Podge. And these things are good to go. They're such a fun and personalized gift, especially for somebody that thinks they might just get, something non-personalized. You just add a little bit of felt and you can tie it up with a fun little gift tag. And this really shows that you put the thought in, but it doesn't take a lot of time or money. This next one is inspired by my dear friend Courtney over at Creative on the Cheap, who shared this project at our pinners class. As part of our extra projects, she let people know that you could take an 18-inch wood round, a 6-inch Lazy Susan, and some felt pads and make a really pretty Lazy Susan. So I decided to make a hybrid between the Lazy Susan and a tray. I started by taking my wood round that I got from Menards and staining it to match my house because we're going to decorate it for the season and then be able to use it year round. Then I got my 6-inch hardware, added it, made sure it was centered on my board, and then I used 3/4-inch flathead screws to attach it. I wanted to make sure that the screws were going to sit flush so it didn't impede anything with the Lazy Susan. Then I decided to put my felt tips on last just so it didn't get covered with all the gunk that was on my work table in my garage. And then I'm using gate pulls, but you could use honestly any cabinet hardware. I just like that you can screw these right in. You don't have to put holes in the bottom and go up through it. It is just going to go right into the wood. I like to drill pilot holes, and then when I'm screwing these in, I go in about 75%. That gives me a little bit of wiggle room to make everything centered, and then I go through and do the last 25% on all of them. It just helps everything line up. Then my last step was to add my little felt pads, and then you can also add a sealant if you plan to put a lot on top of it, especially if you painted or stenciled it. I would definitely recommend a spray or wipe-on sealant. This project would be a great gift. You could monogram it with a stencil. You could also paint it. It would also be fun with like a football or sports team's logo for entertaining. There are so many possibilities with this one. A huge thank you to Courtney, and I hope I did you proud. Have you ever wanted some large photos for your wall, but then you go to buy them and realize they're way too expensive? Well, here's a Dollar Tree hack with foam board. You're going to take some 1x2 boards, cut them for either end, and then measure in between the two pieces to cut a very simple border. Sand them down and then head to walgreens.com. They're either going to have a deal on the front page or under deals up in the right-hand corner. And I was able to print a 20x30 poster of our family picture for $12.99. So with the wood and the foam in there, you're looking at under 20 bucks. I used some double-sided tape to mount my poster right to the 20x30 foam board. I ordered the same size print as I had foam board. And then it's as easy as taking a staple gun and stapling that border right around your picture. Now you could decide to stain it like I did in Early American Stain. You can paint it. You can go for the raw wood look if you like that. But it's really easy to customize this and to gift this. This is another one where you can find a nice photo of somebody's family online because everybody shares stuff nowadays. You can grab it, get it printed, and then surprise them with a gift like this. You can trim off any extra pieces, and then I like to measure the center of the back and add one of these little claw picture hanging clips. Then that way I can put it right on a nail in the wall. I think these look like $1,000,000 when they definitely didn't cost me a lot, and this is also something you might want to make and treat yourself. 2023 was the year of friendship bracelets, especially with them being big at Taylor Swift concerts, but they can be used for so many different things, and they're so easy to make. I like to use this Stretch Magic cord, a big-eyed needle, as well as some beads. I got all of this on Amazon, and I will link it for you down below. I like to cut about a 10 to 12 inch piece of the Stretch Magic. I'm using the 0.5 millimeter size, and then I'm going to take some of these beads off of this strand to start stringing. I also like to take some painter's tape and hook the end down to the table just so then that way all of your beads aren't going to go flying. Once you get to a good spot for it to be the center, then I like to use a spacer bead. Mine are gold, and then I like to add the words. So this one I'm going to do Finn, but you could do whatever color word combination, or you could just do a heart with these beads. Once your bracelet is all strung up, you're going to have to play around with the size that fits your wrist. Give it 3 really good stretches, and then we're going to tie it with a surgeon's knot. So that is looping it around twice instead of once like you would your shoes. Pull it tight, and then do the other side around twice and pull it. Now this should catch on itself and it will be very, very, very tight. If you pull like this and it lets go and it's not holding, then you know you got to retie it. Sometimes if you don't get it to catch, it will do that. So make sure before you add your super glue right there, right on the knot at the end and cut your ends, make sure that it is not going to come loose. But that's it. You could customize it literally so many different ways. I love this stack for a mom friend. I like this for somebody that is a sports fan. You could also do a Christmas movie fan. Like for me, I made Griswold Family Christmas. This one is super fun for a teacher. It looks like 2 little pencils. You could customize this for so many different people in so many different ways. Just grab colored beads and get creating. Now, if you want to take those bracelets up a notch and add some fun, festive earrings to match, I've got you covered for that too. This is such a fun and easy way to make custom earrings. Just grab yourself some earring hardware dependent on your preference, gold, silver, or whatever kind. I like these little, just dangly ones. All you have to do is open the little jump loop at the bottom with some pliers, slide your charms on. These glue guns are from Michaels, and you've got the quickest pair of custom earrings you literally have ever seen. You could do Christmas ones, everyday ones, and I took these small little mini ornaments from Target that were all Christmas vacation and made a set of interchangeable earrings. They have a ton of different options. They have a Friends one. How cute would that be if you've got somebody that loves the show Friends? And these are super lightweight, so fun. There's charms for everything, and you can definitely customize it to the person that you are gifting. So again, quick and easy and thoughtful. That's the whole thing we're doing today. If you know somebody that is headed to a concert in 2024 or a sporting event, this clear bag project is so quick and easy, but it is such a great thing to have when you need it. I grabbed this square clear bag. It's a stadium bag, and I decided to measure and cut out the Eras Tour logo to apply it because I got tickets to go see Taylor Swift in November, which seems like 25 years away, but I am prepping early. All you have to do is cut it to the right size, apply it to your bag, and this is good to go. They can still see in the bag for safety concerns. And then I added this really cute Swiftie guitar strap that I bought off of Etsy, and this thing is good to go. I love it so much. I can't wait again in 25 years to wear it to the concert. But you could put sports teams logos, so many different options, and this is great to have when you need a clear bag.
Throughout this video, I wanted to share some other fun stocking stuffers / supporting small business items, and the first being around the site Jane.com. Now, you guys have heard me talk about them before. I actually worked with Jane in the past, and I thought it was such a cool concept. It was an online marketplace all for small businesses. They had daily deals, and they had some amazingly cute stuff. Well, unfortunately, a couple weeks ago, they closed unexpectedly, leaving a lot of the vendors high and dry for the Black Friday and busy holiday season. That absolutely broke my heart because so many of them have families and are moms just like me, so I wanted to find a way that I could help as best I could. So I decided to shop from some of those businesses, support them with my own dollar, and then also share them with you here on my platform. So in case you're looking for any gifts like that, you can help support them. There's also a site called sellersofjane.com, as well as a couple other Facebook pages that I've found, so I will link that all down below. And here are a couple places that I've shopped from.
The first place I placed an order from is called Threaded Pair. They've got a ton of clothing boutique options, but they also have these really pretty bags, and right now they are running a sale across their whole site, so check it out. The next is Sweet Tree. Their website is Sweet Tree Shop. It's a mom that does beautiful jewelry. I love the gingerbread trees. Had to get those. LilyandSparrowCo.com, signs and decor. You guys always ask where my Merry Christmas You Filthy Animal and Cotton-Headed and Nitty Muggins signs come from. It's them. You won't regret checking out their site. And the last is Limeberry Designs, which has graphic t-shirts. You can check out all of these via the links in the description. I wanted to share with you guys how to add my favorite kind of monogram right now, which is the shadow block, super trendy, to a variety of different things. First up, this cord case, perfect for traveling.
You want to put this block monogram on, you just need to know this simple trick to create it. So I'm in Design Space, but you can use whatever design software that you like. I am going to monogram a cord bag for my sister-in-law, so I'm going to put her first name, last name, initials, so RG. I'm using this font from Cricut called Everyday Fonts Announcement, but you could use any block font that you have. I just found this one and I like how it looks. I'm going to go up here with it selected and duplicate it. So we've got two of these. And then I'm also going to just change the color on each just to help me visualize where we're going here. I'm going to do two different blue colors, and here they are on top of each other, and this is the look that we're going for. Now the goal here is to get both of these to fit within the width that I want, which is 4 inches, and then I had 3 inches tall. So I kind of mess around. If I do 3 inches tall, that's going to be 5 inches wide, which I actually think will work out good. So I'm going to do the 3x5 situation here, and the reason I'm sizing it with them together is so when I layer it, it's still going to be within the size that I need. Now all I need to do is cut these out on the respective colors, and we're going to apply them, and it's going to look so cute.
All I had to do was pick my 2 colors of heat transfer vinyl, make sure that the shiny side was down, and also select the little mirrored option on Cricut Design Space. I cut them both out, weeded them, and then I did a quick little dry fit before I put it on there so I could see how wide it was going to be with the offset. Now to make sure I don't get any heat on my zipper, I opened it up and laid it like so on my small little press pad. I started with the bottom layer, pressed it down, peeled off the carrier sheet, relayered that second one on top, and then this is just a small little Teflon sheet. I bought them in a big sheet and then I cut them down. It helps protect the item that you're putting the heat on. And literally that's it. I love this. I know they're going on a trip. She asked for some other travel things for Christmas, and so I definitely think this is fun to add to the gift. Now you can do this with regular vinyl as well. I customized some of these little notebooks from Dollar Tree. It was as easy as peeling off the sticker sheet on the front to reveal these really cute plain notebooks. I cut them out with adhesive vinyl instead of heat transfer vinyl and added both monograms as well as a variety of different sayings. Dollar Tree has a ton of different options when it comes to stationery and things that you can customize. This is again great for work, stocking stuffers, things like that. I love a good personalization on stuff, and you can do it super quick, and this looks super on trend. Something else you could do with the heat transfer vinyl is create a really high-end business card case. This is the logo for my brother's business. I cut it out and put it onto this leather business card holder from Amazon. It was very inexpensive, but this is nice because it looks very manly. It's not too girly, but he can pop his business cards in there. And if anybody asks about his side hustle, which is his woodworking business, he can hand them a business card and he's got some place to keep it all together. This is a gift that you're not necessarily going to put on your list, but it's something thoughtful and something you're going to use. Another really fun use for those plastic ornaments is to create these bubble ornaments. I cut out some images, and these are just 2 images per one 4x6. If you're not printing at home, if you're printing somewhere else, just add 2 to one sheet. I added a slight curve to the ends, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Rolled it up like a scroll and slid it in on the inside. I used my scissors as well as my fingers to get it to kind of pop out like a bubble, and I did the same thing for the second picture. So obviously Finn and I, and then Finn as Bluey for Halloween. He was so cute, and I definitely want to commemorate this on the tree. You can add the top as well as ribbons. You could do this with both the flat ones as well as the round ones. This is a great way to get a large image onto your tree super easily. Now we can't forget our 4-legged friends, or any of our furry friends for that matter, so here is a fun treat jar. I grabbed this jar at Dollar Tree and I removed the lid and spray painted it so it looked a little more festive, but you could easily leave it the silver if you want to skip this step. Then I cut out a variety of shapes with my vinyl cutter, as well as the names cut out in little bones. I put them on to the lids and they were super easy to put together. But all you need to do then is add either some treats or some toys inside of there. It is ready to go, tie a ribbon, no wrap needed. And it's super thoughtful to think about the 4-legged member of the family. Back in the fall, I shared this really fun football tray, and the SVG is free over on my fall video. I'm going to link it because over there I go into great detail on how you can take any logo, whether it be college, high school, professional, and create this football field to match what you're looking for. I did the Bears because I live outside Chicago, and also in that video I've got a quick little tutorial on how to make some etched glasses. This would be perfect for the sports fan or sports entertainer in your life, and head over to that video because then I can go super slow and show you how to make that.
Another item that is a great stocking stuffer, or something you may just want to grab and put into your own craft room, are these tape caps. I worked with Tape Cap on our Pinners Convention class. They were able to send us tape caps for everyone in the room, and these things are awesome. You're going to pop this yellow cap on your painter's tape or masking tape. They have a few different sizes, so you want to make sure you have the one that fits your tape, or if you want, you can grab a multi-pack. You just slide it on super quick and easy. What it's going to do is grab the end of your painter's tape, and it's also going to give you a clean edge. I love this for painting signs, taping off different areas as I'm DIYing, and I wanted to share it with you guys because this has definitely become a staple in my craft room.
Vinyl records are making a comeback. I know I love playing them on my record player, so here is a quick and easy way that you can make this beautiful display so that you can get it out of the closet and use it more, or gift it to somebody that's big into vinyls right now. So this one's actually going to be made with laminated lumber or edge glued pine, and I grabbed 2 of these 1x16 by 4 foot pieces. This plan was inspired by Shanty to Chic, but I had to update theirs because they used a table saw. So what I grabbed is 2 of those 16 by 4 foot, as well as a scrap piece of 1 by 6 from my house. Now to get the cuts without a table saw, we're going to use our circular saw, but we're going to use this Craig rip cut attachment. This is a great thing to add to your tool bench if you want to be cutting these large pieces. You just attach with a screw the pieces, slide your saw onto this guide, set it to the size. So here I'm cutting 16 inches, and you use it to glide right across the wood. You hold the saw with your one hand, guide with the other hand, and it is a fairly easy process. I have never cut with it until this day, and Alex showed me, and it was pretty easy. Once I got my 3 16-inch pieces and my 2 24-inch pieces, I'm going to add pocket holes to the bottom of my 16-inch pieces, 3 on either side, and then I'm going to sand everything down. Now it's time to assemble, so I laid down one of my 24-inch pieces and measured about 5.5 inches from the top to allot for the back of my shelf, which you'll see in just a second. I'm going to add wood glue and apply it where it needs to go, and then I'm going to use 1 1/4 inch pocket hole screws to attach it because we did 3/4 inch pocket holes, or at least I thought. You guys, I make mistakes too. I accidentally did 1.5 inch pocket holes and they were way too deep, so I had to go back through and do them again at the 3/4 inch. So, you know, we all make mistakes. So once that was fixed and I got my thing 5 inches from the top, I'm going to flip it over and add the other wall, which is your other 24-inch piece. Again, 5.5 inches from the top, make sure everything's square, and we're gonna put our 3 pocket hole screws into there to attach it. Then I am going to make sure that my pocket holes are facing out and add the bottom flush to the bottom of the 2 pieces. We're doing the pocket holes on the bottom so you don't see them. Flip it over, do the same thing on the other side, and then I'm going to add a little bit more wood glue to my shelf and add that in. It was about 4 inches from the top shelf. Then you're going to be looking at something like this, and I decided to take a piece of scrap 1 by 6, which is about 5.5 inches actually, and cut it down and add pocket holes so that it fits. It's about 16 inches wide. We're going to add some more wood glue and then screw that all in across the back. If you're using a 1 by 4 or a 1 by 3 or something different than what I'm doing here, you're going to want to allot for that when you add your top shelf. So just make sure that's as far down as your back piece so it all lines up. Then it's time to finish it and add some hardware. So I'm going to use this Minwax stain in the color Provincial. It's kind of like if Dark Walnut and Early American came together, which I'm really liking lately. And then once that's completely dry, I got these legs off of Amazon. They are the same ones as Shanita Chic, but they did 5.5 inch legs, I think. And I decided to do 7-inch legs. So overall, this is very similar to their plans, but I just updated it so you don't have to use a table saw, and it also is a little bit higher to sit next to chairs in our living room. I love the black matte hardware, and I added these record displays. They're supposed to go the other way, but I put 2 in there so it acted as like a shelf in there, something I didn't have to build. My little Crosley record player fits perfect in the top. It even has enough room for me to open it and put a record on there and play it there. I really want to expand my collection, and now that I have a place to actually have my record player out instead of having it in a closet will help me do that. This would also make a great printer stand, or you can even pop your Cricut Joy on the top. So true story, I probably have 5 blanket ladders in our house because I love them so much, and I wanted to show you how you can make one super affordably. So you can make a variety of different sizes, and the first one I'm going to show you is this full-size one. So I have 2 1x2s cut to 72 inches, and then I also made one at 48 inches, and the rungs for both of those are 12 inches. Now this is totally optional, but I like to do a 15-degree miter on the bottom of each of the legs, so then that way it can sit at an angle and it's still going to be flush with the floor. But again, this is totally optional. You can leave it square. This is also a great time to remind you that you can use that miter box for this. It's a nice way to cut the rungs, especially if you have little pieces to get off the ends of scrap and you don't want your fingers that close to the blade of a big saw. And be sure to save your scraps because I've got a bunch of ideas at the end of how you can use those. Now I also did a mini version of this, so I did 2 of the outside pieces to 24 inches and then I cut 4 rungs at 7 inches wide. So then I did 2 different ways that you can assemble this. You can use a nail gun like I'm doing here, and I'm also using a speed square as well as my little workbench from DeWalt. I liked this because I could square up the 2 top edges so that I knew that the 2 long pieces were even, and then I used the square to make sure my rungs were even. I went through and did just 1 nail on all of the pieces, and once it was hooked with the 1 nail, I could easily twist my rungs so that they were on an angle and then nail them the rest of the way. I like doing the one nail and twisting it because it just helps me line it up. It's hard to do the speed square with things on an angle. Then I also did my 48-inch tall one with the nails. So same thing, line it up, speed square, make sure your two top pieces are even. And then I like to hang it off the table just a little bit so that I have enough range of motion with my Ryobi nail gun. I love this thing. I have had it for literal years. I've used it so much, and I'm using 1-inch nails here so that it doesn't pop anywhere. I also wanted to show you that if you do have a Craig jig or a way to do pocket holes, you can make the rungs that way. So I went and did the pocket holes on either side. These are 3/4 inch pocket holes, and I'm using 1.5 inch pocket hole screws to take it right into either side of my big ladder. I did all of one side, and then I used the speed square and lined it up on the floor to do the other pieces. And the perk of doing this is your joint is a little bit tighter, but then it also helps hide the screws. I don't mind the nail holes on either side, but that is an option if you want it. Then I did the two smaller ones in Early American. I stained the larger one in Briar Smoke, and here they are together. So Briar Smoke is the dark one on the right, and Early American are the two to the left. So size comparison, 24 inches to 48 inches to 72 inches. Now this next one's gonna look like you literally spent hours in the workshop to make it, but I promise you, you won't have to. It starts with a 1x12x4 kind of standard pine project board. I got mine at Menards, but you can get it from any hardware store. When you're in the store looking, you're gonna wanna look down the board like this, make sure there aren't any weird bows to it, and also make sure there aren't any random chips out of the edges because that's gonna look funny. I started by giving it a really good sand down, and then I also rocked my sander around the edges to create this rounded corner because I have a toddler. This is optional, but I decided to distress it with a hammer as well, and then stained the entire thing. Now here is what it looks like with that distressing on it, so if you don't like those little nicks out of it, don't hit it with a hammer, just leave that step out. Then before I added the legs, I gave it a really good seal with some polyacrylic, and then I added my legs from Amazon, which I will link down below. When I made this in the spring, so many of you bought these legs. I know so many of you recreated this as well, and it's as simple as lining them up in the corner, marking where the holes go, and then giving yourself just a really shallow pilot hole. Now don't push too hard because you're going to go through the board and you're going to be sitting on a hole. Just enough so that you don't split the wood when you put the screws in. I got them started with a Phillips hand screwdriver, but then I ended up finishing by driving them through with my drill. This is just the hardware that came along with the set, and that is it. You are all good to go, all done, and this is a really pretty piece. It's great for decor. It will also fit probably one adult. I definitely don't recommend putting like a basketball team on it. It's great for decor, and also it's one of those things that if you're not a big builder but you gift this to someone, they're going to be very impressed by you. So pat yourself on the back, slap a gift tag on it, and call it a day. Another bench that I created this year that so many of you guys loved was this kind of modern organic dupe of these super high-end, super expensive ones. I was able to make it all in under $25. So if you have somebody on your list that would love a decor piece like this for the end of their bed or their living room like I use mine for, be sure to check out my 2x4 build video. I will have that linked up above and down below so you can check that out as well. So many gift options in my wood build videos, not enough time to fit them in these videos, so check out that playlist to learn more.
That's going to do it for this video. I hope I gave you some inspiration that you can start on now for DIY and handmade gifts for the holidays. Thanks so much for watching. I will be back again later this week on Friday, December 1st for the last installment of the Mystery Box Challenge for 2023. You'll have to tune in at 4 o'clock Central on Friday, December 1st to see if my person was nice like a Griswold or a little bit grinchy. Thanks for watching. I hope you're having a great week, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye!